country music fans out there. This is Leigh with Coda Country on Coda Country Chats. Today, we are joined by a special duo, Americana folk style country music artists, Ben and Kassie Wilson of Goldpine. How are you guys today?
We're doing really good. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Of course. And I just wanted to let the listeners know Ben and Kassie are chatting with us today from their tour van, getting ready for a show tonight in Dayton, Ohio. So thanks so much for calling in and talking to us while we're getting ready. Yeah. And for the listeners out there who don't know Goldpine as a duo, could you tell the listeners a little bit about maybe how you guys got started as a duo together? Because I know this is a very romantic story.
Sure. We used to be both separate solo artists. Cassie did country music, that's why she moved to Nashville. And I did alternative folk rock music.
Oh,
And
wow.
I moved to Nashville to go to audio production school, and that's where I met Cassie. And so we've now been married for 14 years. But for the first, 6 or 7 years that we were married, we still did our own solo careers, and we were playing on each other's shows. She would sing on my shows, I'd play on her shows. And then we had a really crucial meeting with somebody one time, and they said, "Why aren't you guys working together as a duo?" And we said, "I don't know." And that was the first time we kind of had that thought that we should work together. And it was not an easy hump to get over because of our differences in background styles.
Mm-hmm.
But when we got over that hump, it was a really cool, raw Americana sound that came out. And so that's what you're hearing now.
That's awesome. And you may have heard Goldpine on their last single release. It was titled "Do You Have Me?" But they have music coming out on August the 11th. And they have a single. The single is called, how about you tell them what the single's called?
The single's called Thinking About Love. Mm-hmm.
Thinking About Love. And there's a video set to release of that. Tell me about the video shoot, because I've seen stills of it and it looks absolutely gorgeous. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so we were playing a songwriter festival in Red Lodge, Montana in June. And we went there for the first time last year, and it was just so beautiful. And so we knew that we were going to have a couple days off. And so I told Ben, I said, we should shoot a music video for our new single that'll be coming out while we're there and take advantage of this beauty that Red Lodge has to offer.
Yeah, definitely.
So we ended up contacting our friend Tom, who's also the photographer and videographer for the festival. And yeah, we scouted a location. It was so beautiful. It reminded me of The Sound of Music. I just kept feeling like I was in the movie The Sound of Music. And the people that we've let watch it and preview it, they're like, it looks like you're like literally like behind a green screen. I was like, no, that really is real. It's so beautiful. So it was special. I'm glad we got to do that.
That's incredible. I can see why they say that, because like I said, from the stills that I've seen, it looks absolutely gorgeous. So we can't wait to see that on August 11th. And that's another single that's coming off of your new album, Two. And this is your second album. So Two being second album, that's very cute. So tell me, before we get more in the album, what do you love the most about Thinking About Love?
Well, the title of the song portrays, people would think of this, that the song is a just very sweet love song, obviously thinking about love. But the truth is that song came about in a pretty interesting way. I've been thinking a lot lately about how we think about the word love and our definitions of love and the many different ways that we use the word love in American culture. And so many of them are, how do I say it? So many of the benefits from love come back to us. And so what I wanted to get at was a definition of love that was not about me, that it was about the other person. And that's a different way of thinking about love than you hear from movies and culture and everything. A love that is for the benefit of the other person. And I think that's the God intended definition of love. That is the most purest form of love. And so that's kind of what the song gets at.
That's a beautiful sentiment. And from hearing what the song has sounded like in like little snippets that I've heard, I get that. And that's incredible. Can't wait to hear more from that. Okay. So now talking about two and thinking about love and hearing your definition of what love means, I want to say, do you think that this song is kind of like a piece of the catalog of two? Because I don't know if two also means like you two together, and that's how thinking of love kind of fits in there also. But I guess, could you describe to me a little bit more about the other pieces of two as a project?
Yeah. I think the song Thinking About Love fits into two, in the album two, because there's a lot. There's several songs on the album that get at that kind of idea, like rethinking our ideas on things that we've thought were just normal for years in our entire life, and kind of rethinking things and definitions. And so I feel like it does fit well. That's kind of somewhat a theme of this upcoming album, and it being called Two. I didn't think about it as far as two people. Really, it's just two because it's our second album.
Second album.
Yeah. The next is going to be called Three, and the next will be called Four. We didn't want to confuse people. We want to make it as simple as possible.
Hey, but that makes sense. Hey, I love that. Okay, so in talking about some of the other tracks on the album, can you give us any more sneak peeks of what to look forward to? Maybe like some track names or, anything like that. I would love to hear more.
Yeah, so there's a song that's really special to me because honestly, it's the way that we got to Red Lodge, Montana in the first place. We were selected as a finalist in their songwriting competition with this song, and it's a song about my mom, and it's called My Favorite Parts of You. And I'm really excited for this song because we had recorded it as our old band name, but we re-recorded it, and we had never put it out on an album. And every time we play a show, people always ask, which album is this on? And it just broke my heart to say it's not on an album, And so I lost my mom 2 years ago, and this song just means even more to me than any other song because I get to talk about her every night and share her story, and it's just beautiful. And so that's one track that I'm most excited about. We re-recorded it. Ben put my dad's banjo on there. It's a little bit different than the first time we recorded it, but it's just so full of love, and so it just means so much to me. It's just jam-packed with love from my family. So I'm excited about My Favorite Parts of You.
I love that story. Especially, my mom also passed away about a year ago now. And so I really do, I sympathize with you there and empathize and know how you feel. But yeah, it's amazing that you get to share that and that other people can share that with you, because even just talking to you now, it's I know that's probably going to be one of my favorite songs on the album, just because now I know your story with it. So, okay, you were talking about during that story, you were telling about how you had a different name at one point. For the listeners out there, Goldpine used to be called My One and Only. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay. Tell me. I'm sure you get this question all the time. Why you decided to change names? But I would love to know why you guys decided to change it up.
So yeah, we were called My One and Only. Apparently, we like numbers. My One and Only. Our albums are one and two.
Cool.
We were called My One and Only for 5 years or so, And I'll tell you this, it's really hard to come up with a band name or an act name.
Mhm.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
And, you come up with the name and you decide on something for a certain reason, and you feel like, yes, we've put all the thought into it, this is what it's going to be, and then it doesn't come off the way that you imagined that it would. And so there were several reasons why we called ourselves My One and Only. Part of it had to do with us being married, the two become one. Part of it was our two solo careers becoming one, and part of it was our faith in one God. So all of the one, but then all that people heard when they came to our live shows is someone would introduce us and they would say, "Welcome to the stage, my one and only," and then all the women in the crowd would just like, "Oh, that is so sweet, like, wow, oh, it's so sweet." And it's just something that I didn't anticipate happening. I don't know why. I guess I didn't think about it too much. And we were looking for something with a little more grit, a little more depth, I think, than what came off with
Mhm.
that name. And plus, it was just a mouthful. What is that, 4 words? That's a lot for a
Yeah.
band name.
Yeah, I can see that. But I mean, very well. I could see also like an announcer saying "my one and only," and then like there's like dead space because no one knows if they're supposed to clap or not. You know what I mean? So, well, yeah, the name Goldpine fits you. So thank you so much for sharing that story. Like I said before, you're in Dayton, Ohio tonight, and your calendar looks pretty busy. Could you tell the listeners about some more shows that you have coming up in hopes that they may get to see you live?
Well, we have, gosh, there's so many shows coming up. But if they go to our website, which is goldpinemusic.com, all of our shows are on there. But this tour, after this, we're heading to New York City, to New Jersey. We're going to be opening a few shows for Radney Foster, and he's an amazing country artist, and we've been opening for him, and it's been an honor. He's so good. And then after New York City, we're going to be...
We're also in Rhode Island, really for the first time playing a lot of East Coast shows.
Boston.
And then Boston at Club Passim. We're really on the East Coast for about 2 weeks, and then heading back. I'm looking at my calendar right now. Then heading back like through Virginia and the Carolinas, and eventually back to Bristol, Virginia for Bristol Rhythm and Roots Festival.
Yeah.
Cool.
So all that information, all the details, and if they want to check it out, come see us. They can do it at goldpinemusic.com.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for sharing your website too, because I know I have a ton of listeners who was like, well, how can I find them? Where are they at? And I normally give like a little list at the bottom of our screen with all your Instagram handle and everything like that. So yeah, I'm sure you're going to grab some more listeners after this episode drops. Tell me, what is your favorite performance that you've ever done as a duo?
Well, I would say it was probably on our last tour for me. We played the Kerrville, Texas Folk Festival. And we got into that. We first heard about this festival because we were a finalist in their songwriting competition with My Mama's Song, too. And we went there and just kind of partaked in it and soaked it all in. And then this year we had the honor of playing main stage opening weekend, and it was awesome. But it was amazing because the people there love music so much, and just being able to share. And they're such listeners, and they want to know the stories behind the song, and they appreciate it, and it's the perfect crowd. I mean, it's like, you go to a lot of places and there's a lot of talking, and people are drinking and getting crazy. But like, we played a set during the day, like it was like 6:00 at night, so it was still light out. But it was so engaging, and the people were so into it, and it was just like a dream come true to be able to play that festival, and an honor. And for me, that's probably my favorite one so far.
I think I would agree too. That was a really special show. Yeah, I can't say any more than you did.
Cool. Wow, that's awesome. Well, and just to know, like, people are chiming or listening in and hearing the words that you're saying, like it's a very special moment just to have that connection with the crowd, you know?
For sure. And that's
Yeah.
a big part of our live show is the connection, and the connection that music can have with the people out in the audience, whether you have similar stories and you're connecting with that story over lyrics, or like you're connecting in a way that you're maybe speaking something into somebody's life and they're thinking in a way they haven't thought before or something like that. I mean, it's just music is really powerful, like no other, like nothing else. It's really amazing.
I completely agree. And I say that not only as a country music lover, but as a music teacher. Like that's my full-time job. Yeah. So I feel like I'm going to take that little clip right there and I'm going to play it for my students. And I'm like, this is why you do it. This is why you love it. Right. So thank you for that. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the release of your album on September 8th, you have the single coming out August 11th, Thinking About Love. What else is on the horizon for Goldpine? Any more videos or any more single drops before September 8th?
There's not another single drop beyond the one this Friday, the August 11th. But the whole album comes out September the 8th, and it'll be on all streaming platforms, and we're going to have it in vinyl and on CD, if anybody still has a way to play that. And then we're going to be playing Americana Fest in September, which is what we're super pumped about. It's going to be awesome. So our album will be releasing right before that. And this year we are so excited to be an official showcasing artist. This is our first time ever, so we are really excited to be a part of that. And it's awesome too because like we travel so much to finally get like a conference that is in Nashville is awesome. Yeah. You know, because we drove 25 hours to Montana and 12 hours to Texas, but we'll drive 10 minutes to the show from our house, and so that'll be quite the treat.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And Americana Fest is a big deal, so I'm so happy that you guys have booked that slot. That's going to be an amazing experience. Okay. Well, I thank you so much for meeting with me today and talking more about the album. I can't wait to hear it when it comes out. And I'll definitely be looking out for the single and the video that's going to release this Friday, August the 11th. Do you have any shout outs or anything that you'd like to share before hopping off today?
Put us on the spot.
Yeah, well, first of all, you think about our video, but I want to give a shout out to our first video that we did, and our photographer. Her name is Rachel Curtis, and she is an amazing photographer, and she shoots all of our pictures, and she's just the best. So, and she also shot the video for our first video, Do You Have Me? And it was amazing. And then Tom and the team in Montana, we want to give them a shout out, and just a shout out to Red Lodge in general, because Mike Booth and the whole community and city and town of Red Lodge and the festival that they put on, they're so awesome. And to be able to shoot our video there was pretty special. Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
Let's see. I'd like to thank my parents.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And for Milestone, our publicity team, for getting our songs and record out there. Give a shout out to them.
Shout out to Jessica for setting this up. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
Very cool, guys. Okay, well, this is Leigh with Coda Country, and you just heard from Ben and Kassie Wilson of Goldpine on Coda Country Chats. Have a great day.